Hello, hello. Welcome to my channel. My name is Emmie from Emmie Evolving. If this is your first time joining me, thank you for finding me. If this is not your first time, thank you for coming back. Right now, I'm going to be doing a ClairTarot reading for Capricorn. Like, who am I reading for? For Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Also for your cross watchers, we're going to be doing a 2020, kind of late, but 2020 abundance forecast. All right. So let us see. Let me ask the Capricorn energy what this year is going to be like while I pull cards. How's everyone doing? Hi, Jovanka. How is everybody doing? So immediately I'm getting that Capricorn this year might be somewhat of a challenge. It might be something that pushes you beyond what you thought you could handle. I'm kind of getting like a cross between what you thought you could handle in regards to what you see happening to other people and what you thought you can handle happening to you personally. So it's a little bit of I guess kind of like an odd feeling. It's a little bit uncomfortable. I'm not too sure why. It could be this sense that Capricorn is more of a, you need to kind of show me, you need to prove it before I'll believe it. And I don't necessarily feel like what we're going to be struggling through is super negative, like attacks aimed at you. This feels more like wrapping your mind around the gravity of your spiritual journey. Does that make sense? It's almost like it's a little bit difficult for you to understand. Damn, I'm getting messages and wow. Whew, that's intense. Yo, that's intense. Are you sure about that message? I'm just saying. That's a very intense message. Immediately I'm getting the message that's intense is that your financial success is about to go through the roof, like way beyond through the roof. And remember, I was saying that I can't quite discern whether you're struggling with watching events occur for someone else or events occurring for yourself. And it has to do more with spirituality. It's not necessarily attacks. It's more about spiritual growth. Well, that's because there's another person involved. Another person involved. And your abundance is tied for whatever reason. I'm going to be honest, I don't quite understand it because your abundance should be your own. But this is kind of, okay. I'm being told it's not tied, but they are very tightly woven together, interwoven. Okay. Okay. I'll give y'all your message. Here we go. So, Capricorn, here you are. So many different aspects of yourself coming to the forefront of your mind. Okay. There's so many parts of you that have kind of just been shelved because it doesn't fully align with your whatever it is you've been focused on for most of your life. And for the most part, it seems as though the focus has been on earth-based success and stability. Now, that's not to say that you have zero spiritual inkling or you haven't evolved in any way. It doesn't mean any of that. It just means your focus has been about really elevating your experience, your human experience. And so you've been really working on that. And you did really good for yourself. Okay. You really created a lot of circumstance that had the potential to give you financial stability. to give you some feeling of accomplishment. Others have seen you as being accomplished. This is how they view you, and that's made you feel really good about yourself. Um, it's helped to validate you in some way without really asking for validation. So that's been a really good part, a really good aspect of your human experience. But now it's time for you to tap into these other aspects. And it's almost, oh my God. Okay, I'm just going to calm myself down. It almost looks as though and feels as though these aren't just characteristics, like character traits. There's a potentiality for some Capricorns to have a walk-in. That's when the current soul that occupies the body will go ahead and walk out, and a new soul will walk in to take this to a whole nother level of insanity. 63% at 348. That comes out to 6648. Card number 6, shock of the new. This is pretty shocking. This is pretty shocking. So it's going to be a completely new new song. Yeah. Oh shit. Whoa. That's exactly what I thought. Oh, what? So whatever, and it might be like several phases of this for some, not all. For some, not all. And that's okay. That's okay. It doesn't necessarily mean you're going to be possessed. It doesn't necessarily mean you're going to suddenly be like, I don't know, alien or whatever. But it is going to mean there's going to most likely be a huge shift in what your focus is. It might go from a human life-based focus to one more spiritual, more galactic in nature. Okay, so it doesn't necessarily mean something traumatic, doesn't mean you're going to die and then wake up as someone else with doctors pounding on your chest. It doesn't have to mean anything like that. Okay, so card number 50, potential gateway. It's through the heart that all of this will enter. Floating land under a massive tree with unicorns and fairies. A whole lot of glittery shit at the bottom. The potential gateway for this this huge shift in your consciousness, and for some it's a walk-in. For others, it's not a walk-in. It's just a recalibration of you and your perceptions, the filters that you use, your focus, all of that. Okay, so the heart is the gateway to get to the other side of this. So this is going to be very heart-based. It's going to definitely put you in a position where you're better poised to recognize the gravity of your magic. It's a lot of information coming in, to be honest. It's overloading my system. It's really overloading my system, like tremendously. So here's the thing. Ooh. Okay, I need a clarifier for this card before I need a clarifier for this card. Shit. Don't tell me that. That was the clarifier. That was the clarifier. Fine. Sorry, guys. Sorry. Here goes. So this card shows that there's going to be a lot of challenging things that are going to trigger a moment where you just flare up, fucking set everything on fire, boom your truth. There's going to be attempts to try and tear you down. See all that yucky, and you're just going to speak your truth. You're going to set your ass on fire like a fucking phoenix on the rise. And then what happens? you do rise from this as an evolved form of yourself. And maybe that's what this is all about. Evolved form of you is rising up. And I mean, with the hands open like this, that there's nothing to hide. You have nothing to hide. In addition to that, you're not holding on to anything, which usually we hold on to things out of fear. With your hands open, you open yourself to receive the full greatness of who and what you are. All of this bullshit attempt that is consistently being tossed your way, it's definitely, it doesn't have the ability to withstand this type of massive energy surge. Okay. I mean, that looks like a phoenix rising from the head. So I needed that card clarified because of what it's paired with. I don't like this. I don't like this, but it's okay. This is not my reading. This is not my reading, so it doesn't matter whether I like this or not. So card number 13, power of attraction. This is about a karmic soul connection, the highest level of connection, one where you perfectly mirror each other. And this connection is something, I mean, you guys are focused on each other at this point. You know, you see eye to eye. You guys are looking each other in the eyes at this point. Are they physically there with you? That's hard to say. That's hard to say. If they don't come to be with you physically, there's definitely a very strong psychic connection, a telepathic connection. Active conversation can take place. Active energy transfer can take place. This is a very high level soul connection with another individual. And to clarify this card, because it leads to this card, what I ended up pulling was that as of right now, although the two of you are connected, there has been attempts on both of you separately, attempts on both of you to sever that connection, to create distraction, disharmony, distrust, all of that. And what's going on is one or both of you is kind of like being fought over. It's like a tugging. This might be a third or fourth party circumstance because there's a shit ton of hands there. And it's this like yucky feeling is what it is. So, you know, he's kind of noticing her. I'm assuming they're together. I'm wondering if this is Capricorn and their significant other. Doesn't really feel like it. It feels more like this is Capricorn. These two probably were a pair, but maybe aren't a pair anymore. And what ended up happening, I think this is Capricorn. You got tired of the bullshit and you rose above it and you're like, bye-bye. Like, I'm sick of that shit. Bye. And then that caused the cross watcher to be like, I'm sorry, boo. You not my boo no more. And because this looks like a phoenix egg, to be honest. This looks like an egg shrouded in darkness. This looks like their phoenix egg. And there are... Is that a black heart on the PP? I'm just saying. That's a black heart on the PP. That's a little too much for me. So then, let me just have my laugh for a second. This is just too much for me. So this explains this. Remember I said perfectly mirroring? So at one point, this was Capricorn. All these other thoughts and ideas of other people, of who you should be, where you should be at, how you should behave, what you should be doing. All of that, Capricorn, you were here as well. And you totally were like, fuck that. And you cracked out your shell. Because, I mean, realistically, this type of phoenix would probably come from this type of egg, right? All right, I'm saying, you know what I'm saying? There you go. So I think what's going on is with you freeing yourself, Capricorn, it's then made them cognitive of the fact that there is a draining force It I get succubus or incubus, like a very draining. I don't know if they're in their own relationship or what, but it's a very draining type of force, and it's almost as though, excuse me, it's almost as though the cross watchers finally throwing their hands up, and it's like, I'm just done with this, because they felt you, Capricorn, kind of break free from your own shell, okay, your own containment. So that's kind of, you know, these two cards are to clarify this card, which I don't know if I just made it more confusing for you guys. But at the end of the day, this reflection is the potential gateway, right? And it's going to be done through the heart space, because at the end of the day, card number 43, love matters. Really, it's that internal peace. That's what matters. For some, the boat has already sailed away. You think that the boat has already sailed away. There you go. You think that it's sailed away, right? But in reality, as you bring peace back into your mind, it actually brings a different version, a more streamlined, healthier version of whatever that sailed away boat is. All right. Let's do the next one. I need clarifiers. So I think maybe what's going on, Capricorn, this is really going to open your heart and be whatever it is that situation that causes you to shift your focus, shift your direction in something that is highly in alignment with what your soul is wanting and needing, your soul purpose. So let's just pull a couple cards. Wow, that's deep. That's really deep. That's actually kind of sad. This is a really tragic ass story. Like, shit, Capricorn. I mean, you've been watching some telenovelas? This looks like some spiritual telenovela going on. Shit's going down. It's unfolding. So you broke free. You broke free of your containment. You're pulling in your power. You're really empowering yourself. They saw this. The hands are up. Like, you know what? I think I want that too. I think I want freedom. And whatever this attachment is, whether it is a significant other, or it's a parasitic attachment, or maybe their significant other is the parasitic attachment. I don't know, but it's something connected to the cross watcher. It's a very draining thing. And I think it's a lot of emotional manipulation. If you look at that, like her face and posturing and everything, it's a lot of like really muddled, I almost want to say like dirty type of emotional manipulation. And it gets them really deep into their head space. You know, like all of this really protective energy comes across the face because that's your identity, right? I think what might be happening, this is getting even more tragic as it goes. Shit. 74% at 4 o'clock. 74400. So this is getting even more tragic, because it seems like when you pair this with this, again, it's like, oh, fine, then just leave me. I wasn't good enough for you anyway. So it's like a lot of emotional manipulation, narcissistic tactics are being employed. And they're kind of falling for it, you know? They're kind of falling for it. But at the same time, it's like with the activation of all these other things that are going on this year, it's almost as though they have a protective shielding across their face, because that shield, it shields their face, which is their identity in this life. You know what I mean? So it's kind of helping them to release this toxicity of, you know, you're such a bad person. You totally betrayed me. So with that, their identity, they're beginning to stick up for themselves. They're not just taking in the manipulation. It looks like, you know, their personal power is lifting the chin up, like, you know, get your dignity back, bro. And then the personal power on the shoulders across the the cranial space. This is like a very cerebral experience that they're having. They're now, instead of just being all feelings that are being manipulated, they're now like logically thinking, well, if I'm such a horrible person, like you say I am, you deserve to be with someone better. Go find someone better. You know, I'm so horrible to you all the time. Then it's good that I'm letting you go, that I'm walking away. And with that, I think when that finally crosses their mind and they become less emotional and more cerebral, I think what ends up happening is they come around and they're like trying to piece together, put back all the pieces that, because they made a huge mess. The cross watcher made a huge mess. This is the feeling that I get. I don't feel it was Capricorn, because y'all know I call Capricorn out if it was Capricorn. Okay. I had no problem calling people out. I feel like this was a cross watcher. They made a huge mess. They thought they couldn't survive the gravity of the realization of who and what you are to them on their journey. And now they're bathed in that crown energy, the purple, the violets, some of that orange and yellow mixing together. So they're seeing the power you have. They're drawn to that sacral energy that that really is just, they're realizing they messed up. They're trying to put things back together. Like it's almost like the cord was broken and they're trying to just please put it back together. So that's kind of what's happening. But at the same time, Capricorn, this is such a mess. What kind of reading is this? I'll just go with it. It's this whole story. We're going with it. Balls to the wall, sweaty and all. There's a group watching all of this taking place. There's a group watching. Whenever I see this card, I kind of feel like this is usually probably like family or people who are really close friends who kind of see each other as family. So this is, I wouldn't be surprised if this is like the Cross Watchers group just watching, because he's now chasing after whatever this is, whatever it was that got away, which is you, Capricorn. Okay. Of this card? You mean this card, Lisa? Which card? Is that the card? Is that a child? I don't think that's a child. Ooh, but I just saw a snake. So as they're trying to put the pieces back together, I just saw a snake right here. This looks like a snake. So Capricorn, this is getting this like major intrigue. What is this? Romeo and Juliet type stuff. Because it's like they just chasing and chasing round and round and round. There is Japanese cultural beliefs that there is a sacred string that connects us to the people who are meant to cross our path in this life. Look at that. Lots of strings scattered all over. It's almost like this is the year where basically they, oh, damn, this is intense. Oh my God, this is the year they spend. It's almost like groveling at your feet, like, please, let me just show you that things are not what you think they are. I really messed up. I wasn't ready to admit things to myself. It's kind of like that feeling. That's probably why he looks like he want to caca himself. Like, fuck, I fucked up. I fucked up. And there is a group that continues to encourage separation between the two of you. It's almost like they tried to Shanghai the cross watcher and sail them away from you, but instead they grew their wings and sailed back to you. It seems like, honestly, it seems as though Capricorn is is open to this, at least to explore what the lessons were that needed to be explored. But there's always something trailing behind is the thing. There's always something trailing behind. And then someone mentioned snakes on both corners. Yeah, it does look like it. There's a lot of interference. There's a lot of interference being run. Look at all these hands in the pot. You know, there's just a lot of other people's thoughts meddling, a lot of meddling going on. Card number 14, going beyond normal. On every single level, the both of you, because it seems like this is going to really affect the trajectory of both of your growth. And both of your growth are so intricately interwoven that it affects the way your abundance is delivered. Does it make sense? It's about communication. It's only a matter of time before the telepathic thoughts become actual communication. The key is in the communication. Okay. That's what I'm being told. The key is in the communication. Okay. I don't know what I'm missing in that. So card number 10, open your heart. Oh, I just randomly saw a face. Oh my God, this is just weird. This is just a weird ass image. Okay, I'm going to show you guys again. Okay. So there it is. It went from an ugly duckling type circumstance where everything is still watching. I believe that's the ex. Okay. I believe that's the ex of, I guess, the cross watcher. But in the end, there is a reconnection that occurs. You are open to that communication. You are open to that connection. This is probably going to happen in kind of a secret, hidden way with a moon right there. But really, something beautiful can come from this. I want to make clear, though, you're not taking from someone else's relationship. This is not about you waiting for someone else's significant other to leave their significant other, and that's what you're hoping for. This is about you moving forward. This is about you moving forward without this bullshit. Okay? This is about you moving forward. You moving forward is what initiates all of this. Because when you move forward, they become aware that they want to grow too. They begin thinking and become more cerebral instead of being so easily emotionally manipulated. And then they come around trying to piece everything back together, chasing you all over the freaking world, basically. And then that telepathic communication then begins to need a more tangible, confirmed connection. So then communication actually is probably going to begin again between the two of you. And I mean, these cards, potential getaway. Oh, Freudian slip. Get away! Run away! Okay. Potential gateway, love matters, and then open your heart. There you go. There you go. Let's pull a couple more cards for that because this is kind of I'm just gonna shuffle the cards. I'm just gonna shuffle cards, stay in my lane. I'm gonna stay in the Pisces lane. Pisces is just about their business right now. I'm just minding my business over here, moisturizing myself, making sure I stay nice and supple. Just saying. I'm just saying. I'm gonna embrace my Pisces. Let's just, ooh, shit. Oh my. This is some shit, I swear. Capricorn, I'm about to subscribe to your freaking drama channel. I'm telling you, I'm about to subscribe to your drama channel. This is not going to stop. This is not going to stop. This is not going to stop. It just continues over and over and over. This is the cycle. It is a non-stop cycle, over and over and over, life after life after life, chasing and chasing and chasing. Absence made the heart grow fonder. It was in the absence of your presence that they really experienced some really intense trauma-induced accretion. And in that sadness and self-imposed destruction, that withdrawing from that whatever interference, they were rediscovering the needs of their internal child. They were rediscovering quite a bit about themselves, seeing themselves in their life in a very new light. And with that, it initiated some sort of alchemy. And this alchemy is a reflection of your alchemical process, which when they felt it, I don't know if they stalk you, but when they felt this, it ignited them. It totally is what ignited. Look at that, that and that. It ignited that need for that inner child to heal, to seek the very thing, that mother goddess energy that is embodied within whoever this other person is, Capricorn, within Capricorn. And with that, the longing and everything, it initiated the patterns. This is a pattern over and over and over. And as the pattern was reignited, they began to hear. They began to hear. They began to hear everything that was going on. They began to know and hear and feel, and it drained the color from their face. This realization, look at that. Wow, this realization. And with all of this that's going on, man, their abilities, whatever it is that their morphogenetic coding is specialized in, that shit's going active. This is the year it's going active. They might not come around right away, but revision. If they can't catch up in the form of a phoenix, then they'll take their original form and absolutely catch up as a dragon. It's like revision, but it's nonstop interference. Look at this attempt to erase. Look at those lines. There's a lot of interference that goes on in this connection. A lot. And this year, I believe, is probably the year that all of this is going to go to head. It's going to pop off like you didn't even think it could. This is going to pop off. Watch out for the succubus, though. Watch out for that. Wow. It's this sense that the possibly former significant other of the cross watcher has always been aware of your presence in some way. Whether you had contact or not is irrelevant. You've kind of just, they've always been in your shadow, Capricorn. And it's almost like the feeling is that cross-watcher hasn't been fully honest. This feeling like the cross-watcher hasn't been fully honest in why that connection is ending. But when the significant other or formerly significant other realizes that ended because there's suspicion that that the person really has always had you on their mind, they're going to go ape shit. They're going to go ape shit on you, Capricorn, on you. I'm claiming Pisces, like I said. I'm claiming Pisces. I'm just saying, I'm claiming Pisces. Y'all are on your own for this. Y'all are on your own for this one. Let me just get a couple more cards. See? Because this is, now I'm all fascinated. How's this turn out? Oh, damn. Boo, he don't care, girl. He don't care. See what I'm saying? Okay, that's it. I'm not pulling no more cards because this is just going to keep going around. So he revises. He catches up. He gets your attention. He gets your attention. And as he gets your attention as a phoenix on the rise, you're like, I need space. I just need space. This is not, I need space. And as you make that clear that your need is space, the reaction, oh, you are his lotus. You are the blossom that inspires. That is just like, oh, good God. Good God. Let's see. So then that's, wow. Wow. That's just intense. This seems like some sort of celebration. It almost feels like summer months or something. This might be happening around the summer months. Whenever there's, I'm feeling like some sort of festival, potentially like an Asian type of festival. It feels like some sort of Asian festival. I don't know if y'all travel, but after he's done processing, like, what? You don't want me? But you're supposed to want me. No. Just no. What ends up happening, he don't care. He's still gonna try. He's still gonna try. He's still gonna try because you are their wish fulfillment. That's what it comes down to. You are their wish fulfillment. They finally grasp what it is they sabotaged. Okay, they finally grasp the gravity. I think what was happening was during the initial connection, they already knew the gravity of you, but because of their ego, because of their insecurities, and feeling as though, well, no, I'm you. I don't even know what to say. I don't even know what to say. I'm just saying, like, they knew. They already knew. They knew the gravity of who and what you are. I wouldn't be surprised if you knew as well. And then they blew you off because they didn't get their way. They had a little tantrum, so they decided to sabotage all of this shit. And now, enjoy the reaction. Enjoy it. You guys are going to keep going round and round, space and revision, reaction and patterns, rediscovery, alchemy, absence, renewal. It all goes round and round and round. But really, all of that's an illusion because the connection was never severed. It really was never severed. So this is the year where it seems as though things are going to really be put in your face. Not Pisces, Capricorn. Things are really going to be put just out there. You know, there's no more, it's this sense that there's going to be no more games, no more messing around. There's also a possibility that whoever this cross watcher is to you, could put, oh, okay. Okay. So whoever this cross watcher is to you will, you know, they're just, they want to be a part of your life so badly that they're willing to be friend zoned until they find better footing. They don't fall for that shit. discernment. Okay, just watch. Like, yeah, you say you're spiritual. Oh, okay. So it's almost like they're willing to go in all the directions to find a way in, just to find a way in. And it's like whatever capacity, if they can get you to give permission for them to be present, they'll accept it, you know? Oh shit. Because this is a very new deck, so this is my first time seeing things. Okay, lots of things. Wowzers. Wowzers. Here goes. Here goes. So here it is, okay? The buffalo. The buffalo, the buffalo go ahead and run right into the storm, okay? They run head first into the storm. This person, this cross watcher, for those that this is going to resonate with, they're running straight to you. All right, they're not fucking around. They're running straight to you. They're still probably processing, trying to calculate what the risk is, what whether you're going to reject them or not, how you're probably going to react. So, but they're planning to run straight to you. Now, another thing that I noticed, this looks kind of like, I don't know if you guys can see it. It almost looks like this area right here is a lion trying to hide behind the direction, behind this bit of chaos. And then up here, it looks like a dragon. So it's like so many different forms, really just trying to see the best way to approach this. You have to use your discernment. Just use your discernment, okay? Use your discernment. Make sure that you understand what you're getting yourself into if you choose to allow it in. There is potential here, okay? This whatever type of reconnection this is, there is potential here. Absolutely. It's a potential to rebirth you into a higher level of potentiality. It seems as though all of this craziness, I thought we was going to talk about money. I thought that's what Capricorn's reading was going to be about, to be honest. But this is about balance, balancing the spiritual and the earthly existence. This is about the reunification. This is about transformation. This is about all sorts of different things: positive, negative, masculine, feminine, yin, yang, lunar, solar, everything. Everything. It's about you really allowing yourself to experience whatever this is without bamboozling yourself. Okay? Don't bamboozle yourself. If you've already experienced this with them before, um, it definitely is something that you have to remember the past. I mean, you're not going to hold the past over them, but you definitely have to remember the past and how the pattern went in the past. And if they're going to be repeating that same stuff, you need to cut that out. You need to be like, look, you need to go, boo. You need to go, because we're not repeating that. For some of you, this might, it might benefit you to allow them to remain just as a friend for now, to see whatever it is you need to see, to allow them to just remain as a friend on the fringes. You're definitely not being encouraged to welcome them in with open arms, no restrictions, no nothing. They have to prove to you they are worthy of your trust. Okay. And I think this whole process is really going to challenge the both of you. This is a karmic connection. This does not necessarily mean it has to be why do I keep wanting to say poetic? This shit is not poetic. This is not poetic. No. This is not poetic at all. I just lost all my thoughts. This is not necessarily something that has to be romantic. All right. But this is definitely something that is going to trigger all sorts of levels of growth, ripening, elevation, quantum leaps forward. And in doing that, it's going to shake your whole damn world up. I see this whole thing of like, they come with both guns blazing, ready to fight for your love, and they grab you by the arm and turn you around only to get slapped. I mean, if you're going to grab me by the arm and turn me around like that, it's going to come with a slap. Seriously, it's going to come with a slap. Don't grab me. So really though, it just completely shifts the focus, because you've been focused on this life, on creating stability for yourself. And I think this is the year that soul gives you the time to really understand it's more than just earthly human stability. You also need to reestablish that energetic and spiritual stability. So with all of these crazy ass cards, I feel like for the Capricorns that this applies to, I feel like this process has already begun. Probably, I don't know, I'm hearing like November, October time was when it initiated. For the Capricorns that this is resonating with, did something happen like, okay, probably end of September, early November time, where you were like spiritually attacked, psychically attacked, or I don't know, like something intense that not necessarily involves him blew up in November? Okay. Wow. That's what I'm getting. For some, it could be even as early as like middle or late September. Um, for others, it's primarily like a beginning portion of October. But for the majority, those who this applies to, it was probably into full swing in November. And I'm getting that there was a lot of things that were already going on that you were just not aware of. That this whole thinking and becoming more cerebral about the experience versus just fully in the fields. I think that started around November. And as time has progressed, the manipulations, I feel like this is narcissist, a succubus narcissist type of individual who probably began to involve quite a few people to further entrap them. And the cross watcher became fully aware, and that kind of pushed them back towards you. I think for many of the Capricorn, it feels as though you weren't actively trying to reconnect, that you were just like, fuck that, fuck that. And because you just totally like, fuck that, I'm doing my own thing, I'm just do your thing, I'm gonna do my thing, stay in your lane, I'm gonna stay in my lane. And the freedom of that, in comparison to the succubus type manipulation, became a little too tempting. I'm being told to say that all of your social media is being, for those that this resonates with, all of your social media is being watched very closely. Very, very closely. They're trying to look for clues, it seems, to give them some kind of reassurance that if they do come forward and try and reconnect with you, that you'll at least give them some sort of chance, that you won't just slam the door in their face right away. So if you don't want them to come back, start posting crazy shit. Don't listen to me. Michael said I shouldn't have said that. I don't know what you guys should do. You know what? I'm not going to put this away yet. Let me recap for Cap. So for 2020, it feels like all of this telenovela shit started already in fall time, sometime in the fall, and really began to come to a head winter holiday time. For some, it's still probably playing out. For others, it's pretty much already done, and they're kind of still just in their headspace and trying to figure out, because this is what they're focused on. Like, they finally see it. And they're trying to figure something out to get back in the good graces. And I don't know if they're ever going to get back in your good graces, but I mean, if by the looks of this, I mean, Capricorn. Don't let that swan fool you. Don't let that swan fool you. He got salmonella. He getting all that salmonella all over you. Okay, don't let that shit happen. I'm just saying. Okay, Michael said I'm not saying. I already said it. I'm not taking that shit back. I already said it. I did. I already said it. So I'm thinking by like early springtime. Hold on. I'm starting to get palpitations. Lizzie, you're sweating now? Oh my god. Maybe I'm feeling you. Like starting to get nervous. The fact is not even my reading. I'm wondering if like early springtime, maybe even as early as like February-ish, if there's an attempt to reconnect. I think for some there will be an attempt to reconnect. I don't think it's going to be like a very over the top type of thing. This energy almost feels like it almost feels like a broody Scorpio. Scorpios are broody, right? All like deep in their feels and all mutish, really intense energy, but really quiet as well, like keeping it to themselves. I think it's a Scorpio type of energy. Maybe it is a Scorpio period. I don't know. I don't know. But if they do come back when they first reestablish some sort of contact with you, it probably will be very slow paced. Just kind of like, hey, you just popped in my head. Just thought I'd message. Uh-huh. Oh, well, see. This is just obnoxious. This is just obnoxious. What is going on? So just because they message and say sorry doesn't mean you go and sit on their face. It doesn't. It doesn't mean that you are to do that. Wow. Wow. Okay. In all seriousness, it's this sense that the inner goddess within you is trying to make sure your eyes are open to see exactly what it is that you're realigning yourself with. Okay. It seems like some of the Capricorns are like waiting for this to happen. I'm gonna go stick with Pisces on this one. It's too much. You're right. It's too much. Even for me, that's too much. And they're a different person. Be very careful. They are a different person. Much of their strength was ripped out. They've just been gutted. They've been attacked mentally so much over how, I mean, I don't know, maybe they were with this for a couple years. I don't know. I don't know. It's like this sense of having sustained so much PTSD dealing with this. I would assume they'd have been together for at least like a year or something to be this like traumatized. It's a sense of like PTSD, to be honest. And their personal power and all of that's kind of been stripped away. They're just almost like a shell of the person you once knew. So you're definitely going to have to experience a period of really getting to know each other again. That they're a different person. Oh shit. Okay. Okay. So I'm getting that this is important for you to know because they're not the same person they were when they first, I guess, hurt you or abandoned you or whatever it is that happened. They're not the same person. They're now like very much wounded, kind of retracted back into themselves. But they're surrounded with this heart energy. So the heart energy that surrounds them, it's this sense that they understand you were always the right option. You were always the right option for them, but they had to exercise the fact that they had options, which to me, that's not acceptable. Like you shouldn't just be an option. But at the same time, I'm being told not to encourage you guys to hold a grudge. Well, that's what I'm working on that. I'm working on that. Once you show me an aspect of yourself that is hurtful, you will never, ever, 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 ever have access to me again. That's just not how I function. But I'm being told that's the person that they were then when they hurt you in that way. They're not that person again. They're not still that person. So it's not that they're getting access to you again. This is a completely different person that you're going to be dealing with. I mean, with all that wounding, shit, it is going to be a completely different person. But it's something that's very much shrouded in heart energy. Okay. So again, going back to that timeline really quick, it seems as though maybe for the next month or two, there's still going to be some high stakes drama unfolding. The cross watcher still has, I guess, to finish up whatever last little bits of loose ends. And then I wouldn't be surprised if this is something that's, slated for you. I wouldn't be surprised if they try and reestablish contact and connection with you by like March time. I do see that by summerish, early summer, very late spring, there's enough thawing in the ice between you two, the icy atmosphere, that you're able to kind of laugh together again. Are you fully trusting and investing in them? Maybe not. Maybe not. It might be more of like just letting them stay around in a friend capacity. But I don't know. I can't help but feel as though maybe some of you Capricorns are kind of holding a torch for whoever this is. It's this sense that you are very open to this. You are very receptive, but you're trying to keep that wall up. See, look. I mean, you ain't exactly fighting off that salmonella, You're like, oh, you're my sexy swan. Come to me, my little dove, So I don't know. I think maybe you just have to make sure that you don't play games. Don't play mind games. Don't try and punish and push them away, knowing you want them around. Definitely be honest with where you're coming from, what your needs are. And it seems like this is going to continue. I don't think for those that this applies to, it's not going to apply to everyone. I don't think they're going to take no for an answer, to be quite honest. I think once they work up the courage to reestablish contact with you, I think you're going to have a really hard time getting rid of them. I mean, honestly, I don't even think you ever really got rid of them. I think they've always been low-key lurking through all your, your posts. And I wouldn't be surprised if they have hella other different profiles just to view you, not to stalk other people, but just to view you. Yeah, that's intense. That's a lot. You're going a little overboard. I'm just saying, it's a very intense thing. But you have to make sure your loyalty is to yourself first, okay, Capricorn? So summertime, it feels like the ice the coldness, the freeze between the two of you is thawed out, and you guys can begin enjoying each other's company again, like laughing together. For some of you, it'll even be hanging out in real life. For others of you, it will just be like online messaging, not being so like standoffish whenever they message. I'm trying to see what could potentially be in store for like fall and winter. Hmm. It's intense. It's intense. Be careful, Capricorn. Be careful. Don't don't play games, okay? Don't play games with them because you're totally going this is going to blow up in your face if you do, because what's going to end up happening, you're going to if you're going to try and just keep them around to kind of dangle yourself in front of them, not accusing anyone, but if any of you are having that kind of idea to kind of punish them for leaving, um, their feelings are going to intensify. Their feelings have always been intense when it comes to you. It's always been intense. It's never been lukewarm, mild. No, it's muy caliente. It's always been a very, very intense heat. And they've just hidden it very well. And what ends up happening, once they get back in your space, they're going to become much more intense in their draw to you. 99% at 444. And what ends up happening, I mean, I don't even want to say it. Do I have to say it? It just gets real intense. It gets real intense, and unless this is something that you really want to pursue, don't play with them. Don't play with them, because it can become unhealthy. I don't think they're going to be threatening you in any way, shape, or form, but have some mercy on their heart, for real. Have some mercy on them. If it's a reflection of you, there's nothing evolved about hurting another just so they understand how they hurt you. Being without you for however long they were somewhere else, it wasn't necessarily fun for them. You've always been in the back of their mind. You've always been present. That's what caused the breakdown of whatever that relationship was. It was your presence, the essence of you that's always lingered. So you have to make a choice. If this is something that resonates with you and you are in a position to entertain gentleman callers, you have to make a choice. Is this something you want to entertain, where it has an actual legitimate chance of possibly turning into something? Because if it's not, don't play with them. Okay. So wow, all of this is just really to realign you with your purpose. Excuse me. All of this, if you can manage to navigate through this in this year, it's almost like training for some sort of huge, I guess you could say, spiritual calling. I don't even know how to explain it. It just aligns you with your purpose in such a way that not only is the pathway, the energetic pathway that's used by your abundance to travel through your auric field, cleared out, it's widened. It becomes amplified, and your ability to manifest the kind of life you want and need amplifies as well, and theirs as well. But the thing is, it's not going to amplify or clear out if you're simply seeking interaction to perpetuate the wound. The only way that this happens, where it amplifies and um, it becomes translated as abundance in your human life, is if your intention is to allow the healing of both, to support the healing of both, where they're coming back in an attempt to heal with you as well as individually, to help give you clarity on their half of the story as it was unfolding without you. Um, it's definitely an opportunity to heal in such a way that will elevate, that will elevate your ability to manifest a beautiful life for yourself, because this is what shifts your perception, this very thing, you know, this very thing. And for those that are like, those that have experienced really traumatic, ugly, abusive type of relationship circumstance, and you know, all the things being said in the comments, I'm not trying to judge you, but the thing is, it's like that saying where hatred is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to be poisoned. You know, it just doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. I'm sure you have a very legitimate and valid reason to feel the way you feel. But when you do that, when you trap yourself, when you adhere to those really dense, really intense feelings because of the circumstance you've lived through, you're basically condemning yourself to perpetuate that moment. You're binding yourself to that moment. And you deserve more than that. You deserve to be able to walk forward from that moment where you were wounded, where you were hurt, instead of being chained to that. So, you know, I don't believe in forgiveness. I don't believe that we need closure in the way that psychology tells us we need, where we have to talk to them and get an apology and an acknowledgement that we were victimized. And I don't believe in any of that. I believe that I have enough power to heal myself. I just need to recognize your contribution to my journey, and then I let you go. I let you go and I free myself to process the events that involved you. And I recognize you as a person were being used as a tool for my growth by my own soul. And you know, and I'm not trying to tell you that your feelings are wrong, because like I said, I'm sure things happen that give you a valid reason to feel the way you do. But just know you're going to chain yourself to that series of events that led to you feeling this way. And that's all. That's all I want to say. That's, you know. Um, That's beautiful. That's beautiful. You're right. You don't need any closure. And if you've given yourself permission and space to love yourself once again, that's perfect. And you know, here's the thing. This is a concept that might take you a while to first wrap your mind around, secondly, digest, and third, potentially accept as a truth for yourself. All of the ugly things he did gifted you with that moment. That's on a soul level. That's love. That's love. On a soul level, the human probably sucks. If we're going to be honest, the human probably sucks, probably has a laundry list of all the reasons why they suck. But on a soul level, to be able to have enough love for another soul and be like, look, I love you so much. I'm going to volunteer to do all these ugly things. It's going to hurt you in ways that is just going to kill me. But man, it's going to make you grow too. You're not going to thank me. You're probably not even going to recognize me when I come before you. And by the time I'm done helping you with this, you're going to hate me. But I love you so much. I'll experience that. And then when that life is done, we'll come back together and we'll laugh about it. And I'll laugh with you, not at you. I'll laugh with you about how silly we were, not remembering each other and not remembering we agreed to this. I mean, that's a very beautiful, beautiful way of seeing the truth of things, because really creation is devoid of evil. It's human intention that evil is bound to. What is the intent of the human being? It's the intent. So I think at this point, Capricorn, y'all got a big ass year ahead of you. A lot of insanity. Um, I'm just gonna stick to my Pisces. I'm gonna stick to Pisces. This shit's intense. It's a little too intense for me. He holds you back from family. I don't know, girl. You might want to, shift the way you see things, because the longer you keep that mindset, the more you empower his ability to do these things to you. You know, just kind of consider that. The longer you keep that mindset, the longer and more potent his ability to do this to you will be. Okay, I'm not saying that's all you deserve, or you're the one starting it. I'm saying don't continue to enable it. Okay, shift your focus onto solutions, onto ways that you can shift your life degree by degree into something that will turn the frown upside down. Okay. So Capricorn, please do give this video a thumbs up. If you haven't already subscribed to my channel, please do subscribe, turn on that notification bell, join me every single time I'm live. You guys know the freaking frequency. I will be back with, did I do Aquarius already? I think I'm coming back with Libra. So come back and see me in a few minutes. Bye, guys.